Hello, I'm Dr. Charlie Kruger. Welcome to this free on-demand webcast brought to you by the UW-Stout Leadership Development Institute. This program is designed for anyone that will be leading and facilitating team situations. The purpose of this program is to provide you with some specific tools and techniques that you can use to facilitate team development. More in-depth information about teams and team building is available through the UW-Stout Leadership Development Institute. Over 100 research studies conclude that teams go through stages of development. We have adapted a 4-stage model that Dr. Ken Blanchard has used. This model shows how team morale and productivity play out through the 4 phases of team development. Productivity obviously relates to the team's work output, and morale to the willingness or motivation. In this model, the dotted line tracks productivity, and the solid line tracks morale. The names I have coined for the 4 stages are Phase 1, Startup or Starting Phase, Phase 2, Conflict and Uncertainty, Phase 3, the Constructive Phase, and Phase 4 is the High-Performing Phase. While productivity can slowly increase through the 4 stages, as you can see, morale may start high and be lower in Phase 2. Note that good facilitation by a leader can reduce the morale trough and accelerate the path to high performance. A leader can also move the team more effectively through the stages of development with good facilitation skills. When the team first forms, its ability to be productive is usually low, and the need for clarification of roles, goals, procedures is needed to ramp up the team's ability to problem solve and be productive. In this phase, team members are exploring others. They may stereotype others. Hidden agendas stay hidden. Roles are often unclear, but they are optimistic, and they may be unclear about why the team exists. Tools and techniques that a leader can use in this stage are to first create a clear and compelling reason for existence. A leader should help the team understand and believe in this clear and compelling reason for its existence. How will the team help the organization, the people, and the bottom line? Here, a team mission or purpose statement is useful, and it can be used to keep the group on track as they move through the developmental process. I like to coach teams to limit this statement to 15 words or less. This forces the group to focus and describe succinctly their purpose. It's also easier to remember and refer to as they move through the 4 stages. The team can develop their purpose statement, or in some cases, the statement may be handed off to the team. But it is essential that the team understand and believe in the purpose. Another tool or technique you can use in this starting phase includes icebreakers to allow people to get to know each other. There are dozens of activities that help people to begin to learn about people on their team. I like to use a more in-depth approach like the DISC profile. This is a Myers-Briggs type instrument that allows team members to understand each other's personalities, motivation, and communication styles. It also delineates team members' strengths and weaknesses. All of this information becomes important as the team moves through the phases of team development. Another tool to deploy in Phase 1 is to construct team and meeting guidelines. These are often referred to as team norms. Ownership of these is important, so it is paramount that the team develops the guidelines or norms. They should come to a strong consensus that the guidelines will be how team members work with and communicate with each other. This may indeed become one of the major tools you'll be able to use to manage conflict and reduce the chances of team dysfunctionality. I usually recommend that a team have 4 to 7 guidelines. Example guidelines include respect for each other, everybody participates, having a standard agenda, a clear agreed upon process for decision making, and so on. These team guidelines will be easy to create in this phase, but will become critical in Phase 2, conflict and uncertainty. The team should also decide how they want to manage these guidelines. How do they want to use them? Who's going to monitor the guidelines, etc. In Stage 2, conflict and uncertainty, a team may experience some time pressures. They may feel that this is not what they expected. They may blame others or blame people who got them into this team situation. Hidden agendas emerge. Cliques may form, and the meetings before and after the meeting are more important than the meeting to the cliques. Arguing may be prevalent. Voting may be used as the decision-making technique, and dropouts of people not attending or not participating as the team meets may be common. Some teams may get stuck in this phase. This phase requires some strong facilitation. Often the group leader can become frustrated here and want to back away from the whole situation. Here are 5 key tools and techniques that the leader can use in the conflict and uncertainty phase. Often it is useful to refocus on why the team exists. This may help the team members realize that their task or mission is above the conflict they may be experiencing and that they need to recommit to the team's mission. Encouraging them to work through this stage, and at this stage is often what many teams experience, can provide some comfort. Here, a mini training session on the stages of team development can do wonders. Helping the team understand that it's normal to have these problems in stage 2 and to know that there is hope to move to stages 3 and 4 can buoy a team to hang in there. The leader or facilitator may need to have the team revisit the guidelines developed in Phase 1. An open discussion about how the team needs to commit to these team guidelines or modify them can lead to new insights for team members. In some situations, I have had individual team members rate from 1 poor to 5 great regarding how well they believe the team is adhering to each of the norms. This often leads to more insight, a recommitment to the guidelines, or in some cases a modification of the norms. This puts the team in the mode of focusing on the process of being an effective team. Timely interpersonal skills training can be very effective in this stage. This opportunistic team training of things like effective listening skills, creative thinking, and conflict resolution techniques may very well help the team move through this stage of conflict and uncertainty. Finding ways to allow team members to vent their feelings is a way to get the poison out so that the constructive phase can be entered. This discussion needs to be managed. One approach is to break the team into predetermined smaller subgroups that meet to identify their major concerns about the team. Each group then has an individual report out these concerns to the entire team. Action is taken to try and address these concerns. If we can get the team through the second phase, we can facilitate them through the constructive phase of team development. This phase is characterized by having more issues resolved, the norms or guidelines are being used, diversity is being appreciated more. Conflict here may be avoided because they don't want to get back to that phase 2 situation. And they are not yet a resilient team. In other words, if the team experiences a setback, they may feel indignant and want to withdraw or reduce their effort to move forward. Here are some of the tools and techniques you can use in this phase. You can encourage the team by giving them positive feedback about their accomplishments. You can spend less time talking here and hopefully encourage more leadership from others. Since the team members may want to avoid conflict, the leader facilitator should support dissenting opinions and encourage intelligent disagreement. This is important since any decision the group is making will have the chance of being a low-quality decision unless decisions and solutions are challenged. And the leader can urge the team to stick together and move forward even if they don't get their way on everything. All of the above prepares the team to enter Phase 4, the high-performing phase. In this high-performing phase, the team tends to be much more realistic about what they can and cannot accomplish, and they're much better able to manage their time. They have the ability to uncover brutal facts and use them and not be afraid of them. They tend to be self-managing. They tend to be very resilient. One team I worked with had a presentation they gave to upper management. Upper management rejected it. The team, instead of withdrawing, went back to the drawing board, came up with a great compromise, brought it back to the management team, and got approval for the project. They're mutually accountable to each other and very interdependent with each other. And they're learning how to share the leadership. In this phase, some methods and techniques the leader can use is to encourage others to lead and facilitate. The leader can also facilitate information flow to and from the team. Now, you've probably already been doing that, but here you can spend more time working on the boundaries of the team, finding resources for them, getting the right information to them and from them. The leader can also help the team evaluate itself so that they are self-managing. And the leader can still step in if needed. If the team backs up into Phase 3, and hopefully not back to Phase 2, the leader can step in and refacilitate and bring the team forward again. We hope that this information about the tools and techniques of team development has been helpful for you, and we hope that you'll be able to apply it to your team situations. For more information about leadership development and team development, contact the UW-Stout Leadership Development Institute